Cr8.
And I'm Mrs. Cr8. And today we're going to talk to you about how we feel about
homeschool.
But before we do, I think we're going to...
Before we get in, she's trying to say, let's get our beverages. I got tea.
You have tea today?
Yes. Where did you put yours? Oh.
I've got it right here. I have a coffee.
Oh.
Alright, so now that we are ready to have this hard conversation, I have some questions for you, Little Miss Cr8.
So what are they?
Let's start with this. How do you feel about not returning to public school this year?
Oh, so that's a hard question, actually.
Okay.
So, it feels a little different, but I'm happy to be home.
And what feels different about it?
What feels different is I'm not making friends this year. I'm just going to stay home and keep those old friends. And it's good to keep those old friends, right?
It's great to keep your old friends. So I'm glad you have old friends. That's a good thing. So, another question for you.
What's it?
What do you think you're going to miss the most besides friends at public school?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah. Nothing.
Okay, well, I guess that's a check in the positive box for homeschool. What are you most excited about for homeschool? Hold your cup.
What am I most excited about? I'm excited about reading. Mom has been getting lots and lots of good books to read. I can't wait. And last year, my books were a surprise because I looked in the binders with the plans.
All of my stuff. I'm excited about reading too. Mommy ordered some things that I'm going to share in another video about the curriculum that I chose, which is really something I selected. So
what she's trying to say is like something she has bought.
Yes.
That's the word.
That's the word. That's the word. Okay, so let's jump back into these questions about how you feel about homeschooling.
Okay.
How do you feel about not doing the virtual online learning?
Oh, I feel happy.
Why?
Because on virtual learning, the kids are able to get to your toys, and some kids were running in their room with the iPads, and the parents were like, no, you're supposed to stay in here. And guess what? They were getting their toys and playing. Normally in the classroom, the teacher would take the toys and then put them in the end of the year box, and you wouldn't get them until the end of the year. And if she forgot them, it would be goodbye bye toys.
Goodbye bye toys. Well, I mean, you're not supposed to bring your toys to school. So what you're trying to say is a lot of the other classmates, when you were doing virtual learning, you felt like that was a little distracting?
Yeah. What I think might make virtual school better is if it wasn't virtual. And that doesn't solve a thing.
That won't solve a thing at all. Yeah, because it's got to be virtual for a lot of people this year.
But I feel like homeschool is things, but some people may not have the materials. They only have the choice to do the math going to school thing.
Right.
And that...
Everybody's got to make their own choices based on what their family can do, so we have to respect that. We do.
Some districts are going all virtual next semester, while others are giving families a choice.
No matter what, parents of school-aged children have some really hard decisions to make right now. Ebony Creighton decided early this summer she was going to homeschool her 7-year-old daughter starting in September.
But let's get back to you, Missy. So with the virtual learning, besides other people, what about you? What was unfocused about your learning? What about you? Nothing? Do you feel like you learned a lot? Were you able to pay attention for yourself without other? Don't worry about what other people are doing. What about you?
I wasn't. It was the other people distracting me because they had all their toys and everything.
I was on some of your Zooms. It wasn't that everybody had their Zooms out. I mean toys out. What about you? Did you feel motivated? Were you excited to get on Zoom? How were you feeling when Mom said it's time to get on the class Zoom?
I was like, oh, well, because it takes up all our time just getting dressed and brushing our teeth for an online Zoom.
But you're gonna have to brush your teeth every day for homeschool, you know that, right?
Yes.
And you do have to get dressed some days.
No, it was just for a Zoom. Seriously, how can a little itty bitty Zoom be that important? That's not that's not enough.
You just wanted an excuse to not brush your teeth and wear a gown all day. Is that what it is?
No.
Oh.
But once I wore it out, and guess what they thought was a cute dress? It worked out.
Well, the secret's out. My daughter did not do well in terms of like her behaviors and her attention. It was almost like she was a completely different child. On Zoom, she was shut down. She wasn't talkative. Okay, so you're most looking forward to reading because you've seen all these books that are coming in that I won't let you peek at. Besides the friends part, what are you least excited about with homeschool?
Least excited?
Mm-hmm. What's the biggest con of homeschool, you think? If you don't have one, that's okay.
Nope, nothing.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Oh, I got one. No,
Okay.
I ain't got one.
You ain't got. What are you saying? You're not even making sense, little girl. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you know why we're homeschooling this year? What's the reason? What would you have normally been homeschooled?
No, but because of COVID, I don't want to do the math school. I don't want to do the online school, so our only choice is homeschool.
All right. So do you know what kind of sacrifices are happening at home in order for you to be homeschooled? Do you know what a sacrifice is?
A sacrifice is when someone's moving around their life for you.
She got that right. Oh, so what kind of sacrifices have been happening in our household for you?
Oh, so...
Do you want me to hold your water?
Oh, sure. You just let him.
I mean, tea. It's tea, people. Ooh, it's hot.
Now, I have some questions for you. So how does it feel rearranging room and your life for teaching? Because you got all those jobs, and before you say hats, I'm going to tell them that means she's got a lot of things she does.
That's true. I wear a lot of hats. I do wear a lot of hats. I feel a little bit about having to arrange everything for homeschool. I'm kind of trying to be set up for our September 8th date, but I know that I can do it. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. We're blessed that I'm able to do it. Is it going to be easy? I don't think so.
No, it is not.
But as long as I'm willing to try and as long as you're willing to try, I think we'll be fine.
Yes, we will.
Okay.
I don't know how I knew you were going to say hats.
Okay, you have any more questions for me?
Yes. So, what's it like actually being able to teach? What does it feel like when you teach? Like, what does it feel like when you're in district? And what does it feel like when you're doing it at home?
Oh, what does it feel like when you have a whole classroom full of kids in a school district versus being at home with your own child?
Yes.
Okay, well, for one, there's a lot more people to worry about. There's a lot more feelings, a lot more organization that has to take place to help 28 or 30 children, okay? There's a lot of things to focus on in a classroom. At home, it's just one little person.
Yep, just one.
The challenge, though, can be I'm also still very much mommy.
Yep.
I'm still mommy. So when there are those moments when I'm like, girl, come on now. The separation between mommy and teacher, whereas if I were in a classroom and I said, come on now, we wouldn't really have that issue because they would respect me just only as a teacher. So I think that's one thing we're going to work on this school year because 7-year-olds tend to have that.
Yeah, instead of the snapping makes me also, you could be like, come on now, with the clapping.
A clap, a come on now.
Come on, clap.
Okay, well I'll do a come on now clap.
Yeah, start that now. Get used to it. Get used to your clapping, not the snapping. The snapping's like, stop the snapping. When you do snapping, I'm like, yeah, I gotta run.
This is this child of mine, I tell you. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, you have any more questions of me before we go?
Yes. So, how do you feel about this teaching?
I thought I answered that.
No, like how you feel about doing the teaching that much.
I love teaching. I believe that it's one of my God-given gifts. I really do. I really love teaching, and I'm excited to be able to be like the curriculum person, to pick out the books and to select the things, to curate all of the good things that you're going to learn this year. I love that part of it. I do. I'm okay with it. I'm excited about that part.
So we don't have much to tell you. We're so sorry we had.
Hold on. I got one thing I do want to add, and it's a con.
Oh, okay.
The one thing I am worried about though is my energy level, because after giving you all of that, because I'm planning on making our homeschool during the morning time, I am concerned, will I have energy after lunchtime to do all of the other things that I'm responsible for and all my other jobs and hats that I wear? But that's not worried about.
And Mommy, you didn't ask me my cacao.
You're what?
You didn't say cacao.
What are you talking about? Okay.
She's been saying cacao. Someone save me.
What? Okay. We're getting silly here. So if you have any questions of us in our homeschool experience, please write some in the comments, and we'll try to answer them on a future video. We're going to be sharing our homeschooling journey this year, so we do hope that you tune back in.
And speaking of that, we'll have some other homeschool videos coming out that are like the next ones. We'll put a number 2 for the video.
Yes.
Like this one will be number 1, and then the next one will be number 2.
They get it. All right. So until then, don't forget to what?
Create joy.
Like and subscribe. See you soon. Bye.